do you feel?
Yes, I feel quite elated. I see this as a special privilege. It's not every man on the street that's admitted into this institute, I'm sure of that. And I also see this as a nudge to higher performance, both while in service and even outside the service. So I'm quite happy to be associated with this institute.
Yeah, of course, we know, like you've said, noted that it's not just every Dick and Harry that is in such promotions and awards. What would you say, from your own viewpoint, what would you say that are the main reasons why you were selected for this special award?
I am convinced that those that matter in the institute would have seen my contributions, my work, and of course the work of the larger organization ecological project office with regard to the environment. We've achieved quite a lot, especially if you're considering from the moment I stepped into this place from 2015 to date, what we've been able to achieve in virtually every community in this country. Our presence is in every state. So I'm convinced that the institutes in their wisdom would have seen this and therefore deemed it necessary to invite me into their fold.
Definitely, this is a value addition. And of course, as an awardee, you also are familiar with the statement that, with the quote that, to whom much is given, much is expected. So going forward, what should we expect?
My expectation is that this is just the beginning. Like I say, this is like a challenge to higher performance on a personal level. Then for the institute, I expect that the institute will grow from bound to bound. There are a whole lot of other people that are making serious contributions to the well-being of the environment that needs to come into this fold to, contribute their quota. Especially even within the ecological project office, I know that there are a whole lot of other individuals that I expect that should join us. The Ministry of Environment and various sectors, especially any department of this government that has to do with environment. So we need to reach out to them so that once they understand the lofty ideas and the mandate that the institute have given itself, I'm sure they will want to cooperate with us.
Finally, who will be dedicating this?
Well, first I want to dedicate it to God, who made it possible that we are alive to witness this. I also want to acknowledge the contributions of the person in charge of my home, who ensures peace that will propel my own performance. Then, of course, the staff and the management and staff of Ecological Project Office that ensure that the environment is right for individuals to bring in their best. Then I want to also thank the Institute to finding me worthy to be one of them. So I really, really appreciate them and look forward that a lot of collaboration will be brought into bear for the growth of the Institute.
Finally, on the lighter note, in the past, Nigerians in every community always complain about, if not landslide, to be flood, it will be environmental disaster and all that. What is it that you are doing differently that? So now, what's the magic one for you?
Yes, this question is sort of sweetens my heart because we crave every opportunity to educate the man on the street on the activities of Ecological Project Office. Incidentally, there's that misconception out there that we are sitting on fund because we used to bear the name Ecological Fund Office. But it will interest you to know that we are not a fund office. We are not a fund management office. We are a project management office. And not just every kind of project. We are not even on the appropriation. We deal with those projects that Mr. President at his pleasure decides to intervene. That is why it is an emergency office. For instance, at least everybody in the country, we are all aware of the 2012 flooding situation in the country. And Mr. President had to give a directive. It's from this office that funds were made available to NEMA to immediately intervene and help ameliorate the challenges. More so, specifically what we do here, we receive requests for intervention, federal government intervention, from state governments, from local governments, from National Assembly members, religious bodies, civil society organizations, various town union organizations. And once they meet the standards, there are basic SOPs for the office. They will qualify to be sent up to Mr. President for his consideration and approval. And once he gives approval, the difference between our operations and what you get in other ministries is that here our projects are time barred. If you give any project, hardly do you get a project that are beyond a year. You must go into site, complete that project and walk away. So the effect is that from 2015 to date, we don't have a single, not one abandoned project. We've achieved, in fact, of all the projects approved by Mr. President, those that have not been completed will be amongst the last approvals in January of 2023 that are still ongoing. But I can assure you they're all receiving adequate attention and must be completed within the timeline.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
For
much.
the sake of our readers, you know who you are, please.
My name is Stephen Ogbole. I'm the CEO of the Environmental Management and Disaster Risk Reduction Institute of Nigeria, based here in Abuja, although we have state chapters in Makurdi and Asaba Delta states.
So what is it about?
We're here to confer a distinguished fellowship on a deserving awardee, Mr. Clinton Igwe, Director and Acting Permanent Secretary of Ecological Project Office. We found him worthy, and the board decided to come today and honor him. And then we are here to just felicitate with him.
So of course, we understand that it's not everybody
No,
to give such an award. So
no.
what these are the criteria?
First of all, the Environmental Management Institute is regime specific. Not only is it a scientific-based institute, it's also on issues of environment and environmental sustainability, dealing with climate change and climate adaptations. So the institute itself calls on people who are working in those key sectors and key areas of specialty. Now, we all know about the desiccation in the Sahara, which has caused all these issues of banditry and all of that. We have the issue of flooding in the Niger deltas. We have the issues within Abuja. Even last week, we had some in Trademore. Now, these are all environmental issues. And so the institute was set up since 2015 to attend to these pressing, clear, and present dangers, sensitizing people, and working with key sector actors to benefit mankind.
Wow. So what would you say have been the impact?
Well, the impact comes in two ways. We do national workshops. We have been able to sensitize key sector actors. We have persons in the National Assembly and in the Senate. We have persons, even the Honorable Minister of Environment. So it's an organization that is geared towards sensitizing people and towards human capital development in this key area.